Hello everyone. Hopefully all of you are fine. Today we will discuss a new topic and let me show you a picture. What you can see from this picture. Yes, there are two people are saying something. So whenever we see such kind of thing or condition, then what we call them? Yes, today we will discuss speech or narration. I try to categorize my class into 3 or 4 parts. So this will be the number one class. Let's start without wasting our time. So at the very beginning, we will define this speech. So speech is an art of reporting the words of a speaker. It means if we say it simply, we can say that whatever the speaker says is known as speech. That means whenever a speaker is saying something, it is called a speech. Whenever something is coming from the speaker's mouth, it is called speech. There are two parts of speech. One is direct speech and the second one is indirect speech. So in direct speech, we use inverted commas or quotation marks. Or in indirect speech, we do not use any. There will be subject and verb, and there will be inverted commas. We can say that whenever a speaker is speaking directly something, then we call it direct speech. But whenever a speaker is not saying directly or he is repeating the words of another person, then we call it indirect speech. In that case, we use that. So to understand or to identify which one is direct speech or which one is indirect speech, just follow the indication that is there any quotation marks or is there any that. If you find that, then it is indirect speech. If you find quotation marks or inverted commas, then it will be direct speech. And you have to note one more thing, that the tense change. Some students ask us that why the tense changes in past tense. Actually, what happens whenever a speaker says something, then it actually refers to the activities of the past. So that's why the changes happen in the past tense. So to understand direct speech, this is the structure. First there will be a subject and there will be a verb, there will be comma, there will be inverted commas, and there will be a statement. Okay, let's see. So the verb will be called as reporting verb, as it reports that something is going to happen. And there will be comma, there will be the subject, again it will be capital letter, and there are inverted commas, and at last there will be a full stop. So this is the pattern of the direct speech. So let's see how to make how to make changes from direct to indirect speech. There are 5 changes. Number 1 change is verb, number 2 is that, number 3 is subject change, number 4 is tense change, number 5 is adverb. So depending on the sentence, you have to use verb, you have to change verb. Again, depending on the sentence, like assertive, optative, exclamatory, you will use that. And depending on the sentence, you have to use subject, that is the pronoun of the subject, and tense will be changed in every sentences depending on the reporting verb, and there will be change of adverbs of time and place. We will see the changes when we are changing from direct to indirect. Let's see in the next example. So this is the direct speech. Now we will change this into indirect speech. So see, what are the changes? So firstly, the reporting verb. So verb changes, but here the verb is not changed. Why? Because said, we do not use said. Okay, if it is if the verb will be said to, then we will change to told. So the first one is verb, second one is that. So we use that, we didn't use comma, we didn't use inverted comma, so we just added that. Number 3 change, you see, subject change. Here I was the subject and I has been changed to he, so this is the pronoun change. Now fourth change is tense change. So this is the tense, it is in future indefinite. So I will, so the tense will be changed into would. Actually, when you find will or shall in direct speech, it will be should or would in indirect speech. So this one is change, tense change, and the last change is adverb. It is called adverb of time. So today will be that day. So these are the changes you have to understand when you are trying to changes from direct speech to indirect speech. Let's see what are the tense changes. Actually, you have to memorize something and you have to understand something. Certain things you have to memorize and certain things you have to understand. When you can memorize things and when you can understand things, then it will be easier for you to make the changes. So if you find present indefinite in direct speech, it will be past indefinite in indirect speech. If you find present continuous, it will be past continuous. If it is present perfect, it will be past perfect. If you get present perfect continuous, it will be past perfect continuous. If you get past indefinite, it will be past perfect. If you get past continuous, it will be past perfect continuous. If you get shall, will, can, may, then the changes will be should, would, could, might. And if you get must or have to, then you have to change it to had to. So these are the changes from the tenses. And there are some adverbial changes, again you have to memorize. So we will try to categorize this. So if you get today, it will be that day. If you get tomorrow, it will be the next day or the following day. If you get yesterday, you will have to say that the previous day or the day before. If you get last night, then the changes will be the previous night. If you get last weekend, the changes will be the weekend before. If you get next, then the following. That means next day, that means the following day. Next year, that means the following year, like that. And if you get this, the changes will be that. There are some other changes also from the adverbs. Let's see the changes again. If you get these, then the changes will be those. If you get now, the changes will be then. If you get here, the changes will be there. If you get hence, the changes will be thence. If you get thus, then it will be so or in that way. If you get come, then it will be go. Or if you get a go, then it will be before. So you have to understand the changes. You have to memorize the changes. If you memorize this, then you will be able to make the changes from when you are trying to make changes from direct to indirect. So I'm advising you to memorize this. Now we will try to discuss the changes of the assertive sentence. So in direct speech, the sentence is he says, I am going to college today. I am going to college today. The changes, what will be the changes? In indirect speech, he says that he is going to college that day. Now see what are the changes. So says is same, so we didn't change it. No comma, no inverted commas in indirect speech, so that is added here. Then he, that pronoun change, I has been changed into he. Then the tense change, actually it is in present indefinite tense, so that's why no change of tense. But the pronoun, depending on the pronoun, the verb is changed, the auxiliary verb is changed. So he is going to college, and today, so we will use that day. So these are the changes from the first sentence. In the second example, we will see she said I went there. So she said, so the verb is in past tense, so you have to change the tense. Let's start how the changes occur. So she said that, so she said is okay, that is added. I will be changed into she because the subject is she. Then past indefinite tense, so past indefinite tense will be in past perfect tense, so that's why had gone. And there will not be changed because there doesn't change. If you get here, then it will be there, but there, if it is there, then you have, it will not any change here. Let's see the another example. Rahi said to me, I will meet you tomorrow. So the verb is said to. So whenever you get said to, you have to use told. If you find his says to, then you will use tells. But so see what are the changes. So Rahi told me. So for said to we use told. Me, no change, so me will be used here. The that is added. Then for I, so who is I? I means Rahi. So for Rahi we use he. Will, that means for will we use would. So we use would here. Meet, the generally we do not change the form, verb after the model, so it will be in present form. For you, so you means me, so that's why the change, there is no changes. And tomorrow, so for tomorrow we use the next day or the following day. So this is how you have to make the changes for assertive sentence. So in interrogative sentence, the changes are a little bit different, but most of the changes are in the same way. And we know that questions can be asked in two ways. So there will be some questions where the answers will be yes or no. So to make such questions, we use three different ways. First one is to be verb. So the example is, he said to me, are you hungry? So you will answer that yes or no. You are hungry? Yes, I am hungry. No, I am not hungry. So the answer will be like that. Second example is to have verb. So in to have verb, you say that the question is, she said to me, have you done this? Then you will answer that yes or no. So third example is do, does, did. So you will make questions with do, does, did. Like you said to me, did you like this? No or yes. So this is how in three ways you can ask questions. So now we will try to make the changes. So he said to me, are you hungry? If it is the question, then what will you do? He asked. So see, the verb changes, asked. For interrogative sentences, we will use ask. Okay, as the tense is said past form, so we used asked in past form. Me will be used. Then no, that is used here. You have to use if or whether. Okay, then you have to think of the subject. So subject is you. So he said to me. Then me means you. So it will be, the pronoun will be changed in I. Subject, it will be in subject. Then it is in present indefinite tense. So for you there was are, but for I, if it is present indefinite tense, it will be past indefinite tense. So for I, it is was. And hungry will not be changed. So this is how you have to change. Second example is, you said to me, have you done this? So the first change will be asked. second change will be if, third change will be I. Why I have you? This you means me, so for me the subject will be I, and the tense is in present perfect tense. So for present perfect tense, the tense will be in past perfect tense. So for have, it is had, and done is not changed. For this, there will be that, because for this we know that in indirect will be that. And let me tell you, when you are making indirect speech, there will be no interrogative, there will be no mark of interrogation. Okay, so you will not use this note of interrogation here, you will use just full stop. Okay, let's see another example. You said to me, did you like it? So you said to me, so yes, the change will be you asked me. So if again, or you can see use whether, and you means I, this me means I, and it is in past infinitive tense, so it will be in past perfect tense. Had, like will be liked, because in past perfect tense the verb will be in past participle form, and for it we will use that, and there will be no note of interrogation. So this is how we will make the changes. Now you can make questions with WH word. Like the example, he said to me, what is your name? In that case, you will not use any if. So asked is same, but in if, in replace of if, we use what, or you have to use the WH word itself. So what we used, and then the pronoun. So your means me, so for me, if it is in possessive form, so we use mine. Then name, then the tense change, it is in present indefinite, so you have to make it past indefinite, so was. In the next example, you see, you said to me, where do you live? So you asked me where. I means you means me means I, so the subject change, and the present indefinite tense will be past indefinite tense, so I lived. And the next example is, you asked me what were you doing? So you asked me, so there will be no change for asked. So you asked me what, you means me, the subject of the me is I, so past continuous tense will be in past perfect continuous tense. So had been plus verb plus ing. So this is how you have to make the changes. If you practice a lot, then it will be easier for you to understand what are the changes. Some resources are given to go through, and if you go through more examples, you will be able to understand it better. Okay, thank you everyone, and I hope that you will use your time wisely, and try to stay safe at home and stay safe with your family, and try to have the precautions, and don't just loiter around outside. I think very soon we will be able to meet with you again, inshallah. Thanks a lot.